Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy, and today we're going to be addressing and discussing and providing opinions to, in my opinion, is a very important document filed March 27th, 2023, in the matter styled as Idaho versus Kohberger, and it is the state's disclosure of a potential Brady Giglio police officer. It is entitled on the docket, Notice of Brady Disclosure and Request for Protective Order. So if you read this document, you will see that Mr. Thompson is coming forward. He is providing notice to both the court and to opposing counsel of a potential Brady Giglio situation as it relates to one of the officers who were involved in this case. This case being, as he refers to the above referenced matter, State of Idaho versus Brian C. Kohberger. Goes on to say that he became aware of the situation, so what he is doing is he is fulfilling his obligation to make the court and to make the other side aware of it. And he states here that there is an internal affairs investigation that was opened up as to one of the police officers involved in the case. He provides no details. He provides not even the name of the officer. He is saying that he is presenting these materials to the court in camera. What does in camera mean? That is for inspection by the court only. It has not been turned over to the defense, and it certainly has not been turned over to the public. In fact, he is asking for a protective order because he states here that he intends to turn over this material to the defense as well, but is asking for a protective order to ensure that the defense does not then disclose this information to any member of the public. He cites to Idaho law, stating that this information, which in parentheses is personnel records, is exempt from public disclosure. What is Brady Giglio? Brady Giglio relates to two United States Supreme Court cases, one which was heard in the 1960s, the other in the 1970s. And fundamentally, it deals with and it addresses the prosecution's obligations to turn over exculpatory evidence to the defense. You hear this term, the exculpatory, time and time again. What does that mean? That means evidence which would tend to be beneficial to the defense, which would tend to prove that the person accused of the crimes had not committed these crimes, as opposed to inculpatory evidence, which is the exact opposite. And that means evidence which goes toward guilt. Now, what is an internal affairs file or an investigation? Every police department within the United States has an internal affairs officer that's designated. That's a sworn officer who is responsible for investigating allegations of wrongdoing by another police officer. And that person is going to be responsible for looking at the evidence, for interviewing witnesses, and for ultimately rendering probable cause and opinion that this officer either did or did not engage in this wrongdoing, and then a higher up will then review the matter. So what would be an example? It might be that an officer was untruthful in another case. And so if he's untruthful there, he may be untruthful here. It goes to credibility. We don't know. That will conclude this episode today. Thank you for joining us here at the Indie Zone. I hope to see you again in future.